the best way to start is, does everybody on the call have their accounts? Have you been able to activate your prepaid accounts and gone through the getting started section? Does anyone need, because we can walk through, we could start with just activating your account. Is anyone having a problem with that?
Hi, this is Corey.
Yeah.
So when I go in to sign into the SCM Globe,
Right.
and I go to log in.
Yeah.
And
you know what, Corey, why don't you share your screen and walk us through it, and I'll see exactly what's going on. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, share your screen.
Yep, 1 second. Let me go back a screen. Hold on a second. Let's see. Share screen.
Well, you're going to have to turn on your video too, because all we see is your name. There
right.
we go.
There you go.
That works.
Now we're there. All right.
Can you see me?
Yep,
Yes.
we're with you. So now here you are, and take it away. We're gonna fix this.
So, all right. So I go to login, correct?
Yep.
Okay, and I believe I'm gonna put in my.
Well, now, did you go through the 6 steps to getting started?
No.
Okay.
So I need to
let's do that. Let's click on that. It's there because we want it to be easy to see. So let's click on that.
Okay, get started now.
And then see what it says right there. Just read that in the bold text right there.
Scan material on this page. Go through the 6 steps in the fast track. Between 30 minutes, you will know enough to start. Come back.
So there you are. There you are. I mean, that's our promise to you. We know that learning a new app is no one's favorite thing to do. Everyone is busy as heck. We're not here to waste your time, quite the opposite. So when we say the 6 steps, the fast track quick start there, and 15 to 30, and you're good to go, we mean it. You won't know everything, but that's why we say also come back when you need to learn more. But the best way to learn to swim is to jump into the pool, right?
Okay.
So let's, like it said, let's just scroll down and find that fast track quick start.
Okay, 4 entities defined. Let's see, global supply chain, testimonials. Okay, fast track quick start. We do this a lot. Up speed. There are only 6 steps. Take the gym, and you'll be ready to do more. When you're ready, need more information. Just click the blue help button. So a little 30 days. Okay,
so now,
step 1.
There you go. Step 1. Let's do step 1. And it says activate your prepaid account or purchase a new. So let's just, click on that.
Okay, let's click step 1.
Yep.
And, okay. Let's see the other 5 steps. You're going to activate prepaid and demo accounts or purchase new accounts. Click the login button.
Let's just kind of scroll. Let's just look at the screens, because everything is in the form of a screenshot, a comment, a screenshot. So this isn't anything you haven't seen probably about 785 times before. Just take a look there and see if there's anything, where are the big red arrows pointing, and then do it. So once we, that'll show how to activate prepaid account.
Okay. So
it's saying register.
So we would log in, click the login button, of course, and then it tells you to register.
Yep.
And purchase new account, activate. So we will be activating our prepaid account.
Yep.
That's correct.
When you click register, with the register button, the registration screen pops up. Okay, so that's your first name, your last name, and I can make up a password.
Yep.
And I would click the I'm not a robot.
Yep.
And type in your email address for your account. And the email address for our accounts is going to be the
it's the one you should have gotten from your professor, because whatever it is
that you signed up for your class.
Right.
I noticed when you were doing your front page, it looks like you have several email addresses.
Right. And so I have 2. I have my personal one, and then I have the one at UMGC.
Whichever one you gave when you signed up
for your class.
Yeah. So I get all of my messages through my personal email.
All right. Well, then sounds like we got that.
And logging in with your personal email. Let's see what happens.
Yep.
Okay. So let's try it. So I'm going to log in, and I'm going to register.
Yep.
And I'm gonna go Corey.
Yep.
Date. And I can create a password, and I'm gonna say okay, I'm not a robot. Crosswalks. Okay, cars. Okay, and terms, policies.
And then you'll click that big green sign up button.
Okay, sign up.
There you are.
Because I'm in, guys.
You're in. And so now let's just keep going. Let's just keep on going. And Corey, thank you. Thank you for being the hands-on operator. And I'll just be the navigator and commentator. And
yeah,
and
I'll be the guinea pig tonight.
Right, good. And so Frank and Ray, jump in.
Oh, there, he's doing fine.
All right, good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to load the Cincinnati Seasonings from the library into your account. And remember, everything we're going to be showing here is in the online guide. And how do you open the online guide? See that blue button in the upper, click that guy right there. Yep. And so and then let's just leave it open, because now, one of the tricks with the whole app is you move between browser tabs. So it eliminates this needless flipping from screen to screen. So there you all are. And, in that table of contents, it's written in plain English. We've had the jargon beaten out of it. We've had the technical talk beaten out of it. It's from feedback from folks like yourselves and instructors. So it's helpful.
Okay. So I can
click yes.
Okay,
now we're going to click on View Library in the upper right
View
there.
library.
Yep.
Okay.
And we're gonna see, these are all the cases now. So you're gonna so we're gonna import it, and you can import as many as you want. We're gonna start with Cincinnati, give it a name, any name will do, and then click save.
Seasonings.
Good. Save.
We're gonna save it. Okay.
Now, if you click on the button that says My Account, you'll go back to your account screen, and there it is, Seasonings.
Okay.
Now, if there's somebody else on the system with that name, we do the the parens 3. That's just to keep it unique. But otherwise, there you are. And so now all we're going to be doing is editing, and you can see is right there, editing and simulating. And then of course you can save, and we suggest that once a week at least you should save a backup copy, because sometimes they get damaged and you can't fix them, so you want a backup to restore them. So now here we are, we're in the edit screen. There's only 3 screens in the whole app. And you can see in the upper left, it says edit. And the 3 screens are basically My Account, where we were, and then edit and simulate. And that's it. Now there's a lot going on in those 3 screens. So we'll kind of dive into that. And everything is built on the notion of 4 entities. And if you look on the right side of the screen, we've highlighted products.
Okay.
And so the 4 supply chain entities, all supply chains are built from combinations of products, and then you see below facilities, vehicles, and routes.
Got you. Okay.
So there you are, and that's it. Now you can define any number of different kinds of products, facilities, vehicles, and routes. And then when their icons pop up on the screen, you drag and drop them, which we've already done, because here's the initial model. You'll be doing more of it, but we start with this model here. Now, let's click on facility. Well, first click on Spicy Cube, because there's only one product in this supply chain, just to keep it simple. It's an intro, but there you have it. It's called the Spicy Cube. Its cost is $1,000. Its weight 40 kilograms. Its size is 1 cubic meter. Now that means these are pallet loads. Always be thinking, as products flowing through a supply chain, you're not talking about the eaches, you're talking about the cases. And the cases can be a pallet load. It could even be up to a 40-foot container. But so 1 cubic meter is about a pallet load. So we got a sense what that is. You can close that X out that box.
And do not edit product. And when you encounter demand in any of the screens, you do not edit demand either.
Okay.
You meet
Okay.
demand. I mean, this is real software. They people are using it to plan real supply chains. Actually,
Oh, okay.
you know, there's
Okay.
a fair number of UMGC students are in the military or have military in the background. That's true, isn't it, Frank?
Yes, yes.
And
that's correct.
we're working right now with the Air Force,
Okay.
and they're using it at Air Force Officers Logistics Training and also Air Force Institute of Technology. And now we're discussing running this software in a secure top secret environment so they can load real data and start doing real stuff with it. So this isn't just a toy. Obviously, Cincinnati is a make-believe company, but with that in mind now, let's zoom in. And a good way, you need to feel comfortable zooming in and out and flipping between your map and your satellite views. If you look in the upper left, we can see we're in the map view, which is a good way to do your navigation. But when you zoom right in to look at things, you want to switch over to the satellite. So if we wanted to zoom in on Cincinnati, and we can see there are two icons. There's a factory icon and a warehouse icon. So if you want to check out, you know, what's going on there, if you put and this will work on any computer, regardless Windows or Apple. But if you see, when you put your icon on an icon, you get the pointy finger. Now, if you go ahead, click right now, and you can click right on the icon.
Okay.
It opens up a little dialog box there, and you can, here's what you need to know as a logistician about that facility. And when you define new facilities, you'll start with a blank window and you'll define it. I mean, when we
Okay.
created this initial model, here's what we put in. So it's not a whole lot of information. We're not asking for a zillion data points here, but we're talking the key stuff. And now if you go and click on, for instance, well, let's do this. Let's, you can close that box.
Close that one. Okay.
Now, whenever you put your, whenever you put your cursor not on, but close, and you keep it in the fist, then go ahead and now double click and it'll zoom you in where you have the double fist icon. So you can start to zoom in.
Okay.
And let's zoom in all the way, and then we're going to turn on the satellite view, and we're going to really, you know, like we're going to drop into Google Earth and really check it out. So keep zooming in on the factory. Don't lose the factory. You can pull the map over if you grip the map and pull it up. There you go. Keep so we want to zoom in. See the factory that down there by the river?
I lost the factory.
No,
Where did it
it's
go?
right in front of you. There you go. Don't overthink it.
Oh, right here.
See that
Okay.
factory icon there? There you go. There it is.
Okay.
So let's keep zooming in on that.
Okay.
And everyone else, regardless, everyone else, actually, you should all, while we're doing this, you should be logged in too and be doing it along with us and ask questions if something doesn't seem really obvious. So let's keep zooming in.
Okay.
Corey,
So
keep going and drag the map over so we can keep that factory in the middle of the screen. As we zoom in, let's keep going in middle, go in some more. Now see in the upper left corner, we're in the map view. Click on satellite. See where it says satellite?
Satellite.
Yeah. Yep. Go ahead.
Okay. And
no, we want to flip into the satellite. There you go. You know, you got to get the pointy finger. You got to get the pointy finger on there or it won't work. You know how that you know how to do that. We want to click it
right here on so I'm putting it on satellite.
Right. You want to get the pointy finger and click into satellite. There you go.
There it is.
All right, there you go.
There we go.
Yep.
Okay.
Right. So now when you look at what's going on here, and you can see the factory icon sitting on that building there on the, you know, on the just go up a little bit further, right, a little bit right there. You know, see, there you are on that building. There's the satellite. But there's the building we've chosen.
We'll just look for the elevator.
No.
Okay,
All right, move you. All right, now slowly move to the right, ever so slowly. Right there.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Slowly I turn. Step
okay, I got it.
step. And so now we've put these facilities, it's a make-believe company, but we put facilities where they really could be. So in that sense, this is a very realistic supply chain, and everything that you learn and do, whatever works in the simulation will work in the real world.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's why the Air Force is interested in using this. So let's pull back now and to zoom out, note in the lower left or the lower right corner, there's a plus and a minus sign. You can also click on the minus sign on your keyboard, whether it's an Apple or a Windows. So very quickly, regardless of the platform you're using, you can, you know, maneuver around now. So now you're in basically in a real world. And now when I get up this high, the ground clutter becomes overwhelming. So I flip back to the map view.
Okay.
And again, let's just flip back to map there. There
There
you
we
go.
go.
There you
Okay.
go. And then let's pull back out again. And as we pull out, I want you to click on one of the facilities, which is the distribution center. And we're gonna, if we want to just redraw this whole supply chain, you can always click on the browser refresh and it'll redraw the whole supply chain.
Okay,
So
the browser refresh. Where's
it's
that?
the circular
Oh, here.
arrow. No, it's in the upper left corner of your browser. Keep going upper left corner and don't be restricted by your perception of what the screen is. There, you keep going up a little bit higher. It might be overlaid by something on your screen, but there's a circular arrow. Do you see? No, you're going away from it. There's a circular arrow. You're just below it. Now, if you go straight up from where you are, right there, that's the browser refresh.
Oh, got it.
Now,
Okay.
and in many cases, when something, you know, if you want to just refresh something or something looks like, hey, when in doubt, click browser refresh.
Gotcha.
Not just with this app, but any cloud-based app.
Okay,
So anyway,
so this is me. Right.
Yes, thank you. Good. I mean, it's, you know, if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right.
Yeah,
Okay. So,
okay.
so
Okay.
now let's click on, well, let's go over to the facilities drop down. Yeah,
Okay,
right there.
here.
Click on that. And now we can also just click through the names. Click through the names. And I want to show you something.
Fort
So
Wayne.
there you are. I know it bounces the icon. So you know where you are. It opens that little dialog box.
Okay.
Just keep clicking through. So go down to the Indianapolis store.
Okay, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
So it drops it.
Does the same. Louisville or Louisville. Let's go to the DC there.
Seasonings.
Now, what just happened that wasn't there with the other icon, other, you know, facilities you clicked on? Do you see something that just happened? Click on Louisville and click on Louisville, and then click on. All right, there we go. All right, now click on the DC.
I saw a truck, right?
Yep, and the blue route lines. Suddenly you see the blue route lines.
Right.
Let's pull the map over to the right a bit so we can see it.
Okay.
So pull the map over to the right a little bit so we can see. You should feel comfortable
this way
positioning. Yeah. So you don't want to be. It's always a painful experience when you are kind of looking at things and they're sort of half hidden, and there's a whole bunch of screens, you know, window things open up, and what you're striving for is to see the whole map there, because you are mentally, your unconscious, I don't want to get too crazy here, but your left side, your creative side, is forming a mental model. Your right side, your analytic side, is starting to zoom in on some of the details that we'll see when we run the simulation. So you're doing a mind meld, and it'll give you a headache at first, but then you'll start to get it. So let's do this. Whenever you see the blue lines, it means there are vehicles stationed there, because those are the route lines. So let's slip down to where it says vehicles on the right side of the screen. Yep, and click that. There they are. Now, what do you think we should do if we want to know, well, where does truck 3 go, for instance? What should we do?
Okay, let's see. Truck 3.
Click on it. When in doubt, click on it.
Right, gotcha. So that means it goes from Cincinnati to Indianapolis, back from the warehouse to Indianapolis.
And now we've picked a vehicle and we can see it there. If we want to know what's it doing on its route, click on routes underneath there.
Gotcha. Okay. So routes.
And there's the Cincy Indy. So let's click on that.
Got it.
Now, what we want to do also is let's move this box over on the map so we can see, and like move it up. There you go. So you can see the route, you can see the data in the boxes. And now you're starting to get a sense. You don't have to learn everything at once, but as you scan the data, as you play with the simulation, you're going to find you've got this intuitive sense after an hour or so. You're going to start to go, yeah, I know why that problem is, and I know what to do to fix it. And especially when we start to get onto the analytical side, it's a very powerful way to work. You can see, for instance, we have a truck here that is if we look at the edit vehicle box, We've
Mhm.
got a large truck. We can see how much it will carry in volume, how much weight it can handle. We can see its speed. We can see its operating cost, its carbon generation. Delay between departure means it runs its route and then it comes back to wherever it's based, the DC in this case, it waits 20 hours and then it runs again. Question, what would I do to make this truck run twice as often? Anyone online is free to type into the chat box. First one with the right answer gets an automatic gold star.
So what's your question again?
How would I make this truck run twice as often as it's running right now? I can see the delay between departures. It's running every 20 hours.
Cut the delay between departures in half.
Yo, gold star. Please send your professor an email because you just
Right.
won that one. Yes, make it 10 and then it's going to run twice as fast. See what I mean?
Right.
So there's a lot of stuff here, but most of it, almost all of it, is basic math. It's just that there's a lot going on, and this is a relatively simple supply chain. Imagine what it's like in a bigger one. But
Gotcha.
all things in time. And this is meant for coming up to speed. So we've got a sense now. Let's do this. If you pull the box where it says edit route, pull that box over a little bit so we can see the control panel behind it. Now we can say, well, how does this supply chain run? Let's just take a look. If we click on that button, it says simulation. Yep, right there. Click on that. And we're going to open another screen. Now, this is great because we've got 3 tabs open, which we think is a great way to go. In one tab, like Corey, if you click over where it says edit screen, just click on that other tab in the upper left corner. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, click on that.
Screen.
So there's your edit screen where you're changing the model, and then your sim screen is right next door to it. Corey, click on,
Right.
yep, right there. Now we're going to run that. Now behind this user interface, we have created a rigorous and precise mathematical model, and nobody here had to stare a differential equation in the face. And I can't. That scares the heck out of me. But we have not given up accuracy, and we have gained ease of use. Now we're going to run the model and see how well it performs. Because what we've done is we've defined with each of the stores, we've defined their daily demand. The factory, we've defined its daily production. In the warehouse, we can see that's where the trucks are that move the product out to the stores, which is a standard way of setting up a supply chain. It's called hub and spoke, the DC being the hub. So let's run it and see what happens.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yep.
Okay, so now we have 2 different colors, 3 different colors.
Mhm.
So we have the green line, I get it, from Cincinnati to Louisville. And I see
These are
we
each
have
different
pink.
segments.
Right. Okay, so I'm just looking at, if we were looking at going from Cincinnati to Indianapolis,
Yep.
why now is it pink going to Fort Wayne?
We've spent a lot of effort on the visual user interface, and so these illustrate your different supply chain segments. And it's not like this whole supply chain is being run by a single vehicle. We saw there are 4 different trucks there running at different in different time frames. And in the this is the academic version. We now have a pro version, and we are working on what we call our enterprise edition.
Okay.
So we started to add further capabilities to define what's going on in the different route segments.
Okay.
So that's the reason.
Okay. Okay.
So now if we click the button in the upper right corner that says play, down a little bit right there, click on that, it's going to play this model and we can see what's going on. Time obviously speeds up, but we're calculating hour by hour what happens in the whole supply chain and with every facility and entity.
Oh, wow.
So now, and then we're aggregating that hourly data into 24-hour chunks daily. So now we can see we've gotten 2 days into this plan and we have a problem, not enough storage capacity in Fort Wayne. And sometimes you'll find more than just one problem, but in this case, and we've deliberately kind of thrown this into the model to get people to start interacting and solving the problem. So click OK.
Okay is
right there in the pop-up box for the error message. in the, where the
Oh,
error
right here.
message is
Okay.
right
Got
there. Yep. Click on
Okay.
that.
Okay.
So, and then, you can see in the lower right corner, error number 1, not a storage capacity in Fort Wayne, a little bit below where you are.
Right
So,
here.
so there's your error. And if you get more than one, they'll all be right there, and click OK. And then you can start to address the issue. Now we open a little dialog box there that says, at the hour when this happened, here was the situation in Fort Wayne. You can start to click on where it says Seasonings DC right beneath where you are right now.
Seasonings
Keep going
DC.
down.
Right here.
There you go.
Okay.
Yep. Click on that.
Seasonings DC.
So we're starting to show some data. We only have 2 days worth, but go ahead and click through there. You can start to see on-hand amounts at the different facilities at the end of day 2. Go ahead, click on Louisville. You can see that. Now you see on the side of the screen, you've got those bars, those gray bars. You can drag it, you can move them up and down. That one right now, go a little bit. That's one of them. But yeah, that one. So there's the other 2. Go ahead and click on Indianapolis and Fort Wayne. There's Indy
On
and
hand.
then Fort Wayne.
Okay. 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 And now let's go to Fort Wayne.
So and then note on the top, we've got these different tabs. The one we're using right now is called facilities. Click on vehicles. Yeah. So running costs now, we only got to day 2, but as of day 2, end of day, there you are. Click on products.
Right.
Again, where are they in the supply chain? And click on console. What we're doing is we're saving every day. And so when we get to 30 days, we'll download the data, and 30 days is a month, and we'll use this data to create a monthly profit and loss statement. So what you really are doing is creating an operating plan for your company here, and we'll see how well it works. But first, you got to get 30 days worth of data, to get a sense of what's going on. So our challenge is going to be do whatever we think we need to do to get to 30 days. And then the next challenge will be add some more stores. And then after that, it'll be, okay, now make it all run more efficiently, make a profit. This evening, we're going to do the get to 30 days challenge.
Okay.
And there's many ways to do it. There's no one right way. There's no one even best way. About 4 years ago, a student up in Green Bay, Wisconsin, who was working at one of the trucking companies up there and was basically, working on his degree to get a promotion. And he's also pretty smart anyway. And he found a way to do some stuff here in the Cincinnati Seasonings case that I had never thought of. And he was absolutely right. And again, he got a gold star. So the point being, this is not an elaborate multiple choice test. So let's do this. We have a problem. Fort Wayne, what should we do? And anyone else on the call, type into the chat box.
Okay. Demand per day, production per day.
And don't overthink stuff either. Remember, logistics isn't rocket science, but when it messes up, everything else becomes impossible. So let's do this. If we ran out of space, let's give it more space, because we're going to throw money at the problem to get to 30 days. And then after that, we'll circle back and make it more efficient. So let's, and in that process, we're going to learn about the software, and we're going to learn about kind of some of the dynamics. So let's do this. To change now how much space we have in Fort Wayne, we're going to go to the edit screen. We'll edit the model. So click on the edit screen. It's in the tab in the upper left corner. The other, no, go straight up. Move your cursor straight up. No, keep going.
Refresh.
No, a lot of times people forget that there's more here. You're arbitrarily limiting yourself because of a psychological preconception. What we want to do is we want to be flipping back and forth like we just did earlier.
Oh, here.
Yeah, there you are. There you are. Now, so now what we want to do is we want to go to facilities. Click on it, because it's Fort Wayne. So we'll click on facility. We'll click on Fort Wayne. And now take a look at what we can, the things we've defined about Fort Wayne. Where it says max storage, we could just say, heck, make it 1,600,
But if the max storage capacity is 850.
Yeah. And now you see the reason why the sim screen is open is so you can look at it. Go click over to the sim screen. Yep. And now click on, let's go facilities, over in the upper right there where it says, let's go back to the facility. Yep. And let's find out what's going, there's Fort Wayne. So we can see what's going on. We can see that, I mean, our on hand is going up like that, our demand, we can see some things. So our analytical brain can already start to engage here. We don't want people to dive into the weeds though. It's much better not to sweat the details the first time through. Get to 30 days because you can circle back then and make it more efficient. And you will need to do that. You will be doing that in this course.
Right.
But
So correct me if I'm wrong. So it's
Yep.
saying now that there's 780 on hand.
Yes, correct.
And we show that we can have up to 860 on hand, right?
Well, that's where you went over because you're on hand. See, it says max storage capacity 850
Right.
right above where you are in the box.
Right here.
Go a little bit higher up.
Oh, here, maximum
right there.
storage capacity. Okay.
Right now. So basically truck rolled up and you had to turn them away because you didn't have a place to put it.
Got it.
So now if we just go over to the edit screen.
Okay, so let's go back. Okay.
Now I could just say, see where it says storage capacity. I could just type over 850 and make it bigger. My rent's going to go up. Obviously I have to pay for it, but that's one way. Not the best.
So we can edit that part then.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Now there is an online intro. You might imagine there's an online intro to Cincinnati Seasonings, which we'll briefly take a look at. And there's a few things you shouldn't do. You know, for instance, you shouldn't set your demand. See where and Frank said this earlier. You see the store demand per day is 20. Well, people have observed that if you set your demand to 0, you can run your supply chain forever at no cost. And that is absolutely correct. The math works. It's just absurd, that's all. And you would never do that in business. So you're on your honor not to. And if you do, it's easy to check it anyway. So, you know, why would you want to? But because people are modeling real supply chains, all of these numbers can be changed because we're using it in a training exercise. Certain numbers like leave demand as it is. You can also drastically reduce your expenses for real estate by just, you know, moving your rent expense to 0. But again, you know, easy to find out too. So don't do that. Leave that alone. And other than that, there's just a few things you want to leave there. You know, consider them, you know, above your pay grade. Everything else you're going to have to be working with. You'll be working with the stuff like your delay between departures for your vehicles to figure out the best scheduling. You'll be working with how much storage do I really need? How much inventory? You always have to have enough inventory on hand every day at every facility so that the supply chain can keep working. So
Okay.
let's do this. Where it says max storage, we're going to throw money at the problem. But we're
Okay.
going to type over now, type in 1600.
Okay. Okay.
And we'll press update. You always have to press update. And now we've updated. So now if you click on the Fort Wayne store, you'll see that there is a lot more storage. So now let's click on the tab, the browser tab that says, yep, right there. And let's click where it says reload supply chain. In the upper right corner there, right, keep going slow, right there. Now we're going to reload that supply chain with the changes we just made to it in the edit screen, and we're going to run it again. So click play.
Okay, let's go play.
And again, you know, and as you really should watch the trucks, and people said, oh, you know, that's nothing more than eye candy. You know, just give me a column of numbers. But for most people, certainly for me, a column of numbers doesn't really speak. These trucks, although time is sped up, if we had GPS units in these trucks and we were doing hourly, you know, that's where they would actually be. And, you know, we all have a GPS unit in our phone, so that's not a hard thing to do. And then we're seeing what's going on as you click through. You can, you know, we can see in Fort Wayne, we're going up. You know, we threw money at the problem, but we have enough storage there, so it's not going to be an issue. And now, all right, yeah.
So we now run out in Louisville, right?
Right. So now click OK.
Okay.
And now the question is, and it's open to everybody, what should we do to fix the problem in Louisville? Anyone?
Throw money at it.
Throw money at it.
Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
we're going to learn a lot about supply chains, and we're going to come back and tighten up this plan anyway. So throw money at it. What would
Okay,
you
so
do if
this-
you're just going to throw money at? I mean, basically, the issue is how do we get enough stuff down to Louisville to meet daily demand? Let's start by clicking on the tab right here that says the Louisville store. We can get a
Louisville.
snapshot of a little bit of what's going on. Go up a little bit. There you are. Yep. Now we can see when you see the line going down like that, it means you're not delivering enough to keep up with daily demand. So the stock on hand gets steadily drawn down. And then by day 7, we can see, if you look over here in the
Yeah.
facility statistics, it says -20. We needed 20 more of the spicy cubes than we had on hand. We had to turn the customers away. It's never good for business. So
Okay.
now what we want to do is get more product down there. What is our daily demand? You can see there in this box.
100.
It's 100.
Yes.
Mhm.
So we want to get 100 down there every day. Let's click over to the edit screen.
Okay.
And we're going to edit the model.
Okay.
And the
so-
model is your operating plan. It's not an abstraction. It's your operating
okay,
plan.
So we're gonna go back to the Louisville store.
Well, now here's the thing. Where are the trucks based that deliver to Louisville?
Well, they're based in Cincinnati, right?
Yep. At the DC.
Right.
So let's click on the DC because that's where the trucks are.
Okay. So
and-
Seasonings, DC.
Yep.
Okay. So we're gonna click Seasonings. Okay.
And now we want to find out what trucks go down to Louisville.
Okay. So we need to find vehicles, right?
Yes, yes.
Vehicles. And this truck goes to Louisville. Truck
Check
two.
them all. Yep.
Truck 2 goes to Louisville.
Yep.
Truck 3 goes to
Indy.
Indy. You know, with that. Okay. Truck 4.
Is a multi-stop.
Yeah, it's a
You
multi-stop
can
one.
go to Indianapolis, Fort Wayne, and then back
Uh-huh.
down to the DC.
Okay. And then truck 1
Also,
also goes to Louisville. So 2 and 1.
yes. So now
Okay.
let's check out the trucks themselves, and we can close the facility box because we won't be changing the facility. We're going to be changing something about the trucks.
Okay.
Now, so this truck one, we can see it's a small truck. I can see its carry volume there is 40, and to keep the math simple, that's why partly why the spicy cube is at 1 cubic meter. So we see we could get 40 of those cubes into that truck. When we look at things like its speed, its operating cost, delay between departure, we can see, so it's running about once a day. Let's click on the route now, and we can see what happens when it runs down to Louisville.
Click here.
Below, right?
Oh,
See on
routes.
yep.
Okay. Routes.
Gonna pick that.
That one.
So
Okay.
here we can see when it runs down there now, it's dropping off 20 of them. So, and I can see that that's only half full because we could put 40 on there. And we can see some other stuff like the time it takes, given the speed that truck, that's its average speed. So the time it takes. So all right, so I know the first thing is, all right, one of these trucks is only running half full. I could, and if I max it out, I would get 40 down there every day instead of 20. Let's see what's going on with the other truck that runs down to Louisville.
Okay. So let's go to vehicles.
Yep.
Let's go back to truck 2.
Yep.
And truck 2 is here.
Yep, and we can see again, it's another small truck. And now let's see what they're doing.
And volume, speed, delay between departures is 20.
Yep. So now let's click on its route and see what happens when it runs its route. So again, we're seeing this.
Volume 40, and it's currently carrying 20, right?
Yes. So we know both trucks are only running down there half full. We could max them both out, but that would only be 80. And we know that the demand in Louisville is 100.
It's 100. Correct.
So now what do you think we should do? Again, open question to everybody here. How do we get more stuff down to Louisville to meet that daily demand of 100?
Well, I would think that we
Bigger
would
truck?
increase the trip. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think you were saying the same thing as me, a bigger truck.
Yeah, that
Yep.
would be, yeah. I mean, I could do things like I could decrease the the time between departure for one of these small trucks and have it run down twice and then let the other one run down only once, and I could get 100 that way. Or, you think to yourself, well, hey, two little guys running down there, buzzing back and forth, or one big guy just running down there every day. I'm thinking one big guy running down there every day, probably a better way to go. So let's model that. So we can close the route box there, and we can right here on this truck, let's see the drop down. Yes, click on that. So we can swap it out and put in a big truck.
Large truck.
So now we can see our carry volume goes up to 110.
Ah, gotcha.
Now my operating cost went up a little bit, instead of 0.4, it's now 0.6, but and not to worry, because the simulation will do all the calculations and show us all that. So let's click update.
Okay, update.
And then now we can see when you look at its route. Let's click on the route for that truck. Yeah. So we got a lot of room on this truck. We need 100 down there. Let's see where the drop quantity is. Let's just make it 100.
Right here?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to edit that.
Yep.
And I'm going to update.
You bet.
There we go.
And then you're thinking to yourself, that other little truck, I don't even need it anymore, right?
Right.
So I could just remove that. I know I'd save some money that way. So if we click on vehicles.
Okay, so that was truck 2.
Yep.
That we just made a large one, and it was truck 1.
That's the small guy. We could just, remove, and there's a button that says remove in the upper right side of the screen.
Okay.
We don't even need that.
Right here. Okay.
Yep.
Remove. And are you sure you want to delete? Yes, we're going to remove it.
Yep. So now you can always see where it says, the simulation button, people keep doing that. It's fine. It's just that every time you do it, you'll be opening a new tab. And after a while, you'll get about, 35 tabs open. And when you run the simulation, it'll go slower and slower and slower, because it'll be running in all the tabs and straining your laptop or your computer. This sim runs partly on our servers, which is up on the web Amazon Web Services Cloud, and partly on your own laptop. So it'll run faster when you don't have a lot of other things running on your laptop or a lot of open tabs. So 3 is ideal, the way you've got it there, Corey. Let's now click on the tab that we already have open for the simulation.
Here.
And then we're going to click on the button there says reload supply chain. So we'll reload it, and we'll be incorporating the changes we just made to the model.
And we're
we'll
going to
run
hit
it
play.
again. Yep.
Play. Okay.
And then it's a good idea as it's playing and you get a couple of days of data start to showing up, to click through and sort of watch where things are building up, where they're running out. The bold numbers right there, those are the operating expenses of the different facilities being calculated in real time, as the sim is running. And if you watch where the vehicles are, if you literally watch when a vehicle arrives, you'll see the on-hand inventory will spike up like that, and then it'll get drawn down from daily usage, and it'll spike up again when it arrives. So you can see stuff, and it will give you a headache probably at first, but okay, so there we go. Now, knowing
Not
the
enough
simulation,
storage capacity in Seasons factory.
so knowing this as well as I do, if we solve this problem here, I think we're going to get a pretty good clean run to 30 days.
Okay.
So,
Michael, I'm just realizing you have in terms of the expense, you also have total carbon output,
yes.
which is kind of cool to have that as well.
Well, thank you. I mean, about 2 years ago, I don't know, when I had a lot of time, summer of 21, right? So we put conservative carbon numbers, we did the research, put conservative carbon numbers for all the vehicles and all the facilities. And you'll start to see, to get a humble little company like Cincinnati Seasonings to run for 30 days, not a year, 30 days, that you're going to wind up with somewhere in the neighborhood of, anywhere from 70 down to maybe, if you're really paying attention, around about 50 tons per month. So
maybe the next version of the simulation should have electric trucks.
You can define an electric truck. All you need to do is you call up truck and then just say its speed, its cost per kilometer, and you could change. You can see we have carbon output per kilometer. change it to 0 and see what happens. That's exactly the idea.
Michael, there's
Exactly.
a comment in the chat box from
Yep.
Nolan Taylor.
Yeah, Nolan.
It's in
Hello?
the chat.
Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
yeah, we hear you. Yeah, go ahead.
I think I did. I deleted the route, but not the truck. I was supposed to delete the truck, right?
You can delete the truck now too. It's
Because
okay.
when I deleted the route and I did the update and the simulation, my computer got stuck and it wouldn't do anything.
Well, do you want to share your screen maybe, and we'll walk through that? Corey, are you
I don't know, it's kind of embarrassing.
oh no, nothing embarrassing here.
No, I can stop sharing and we can let her share.
Catherine, why? Yeah, let's do that. Let's just do that.
Okay, I'll stop.
Lord, do I want to?
Any problem you're having,
Right.
20 other people are having it. They're just not saying anything. So you're the brave one.
Hold up. Share my screen, right? Okay.
Yes.
Share my screen. Share. Okay, can you see it?
Almost. I think it'll come up in a minute. It says, there we go. All right, we're there.
Okay. Sorry.
So let's, just walk us through the issue and we'll resolve it.
Okay, my mouse isn't working, so I'm trying to like use my thumb for the touch screen. So it's getting kind of difficult.
Okay.
All right, so where my vehicles are, I deleted truck 1.
Yep.
And then I went to the simulation screen, and this is what my screen looks like.
Okay. Well, now did you clicked on the button there that said simulate, right?
Yes.
It probably is because you have a vehicle that the first time you did it, there would have been a little message that popped up and it said there was a truck without a route.
Yes.
And so you can't run your sims until all the vehicles have routes. If you don't need a truck, then just eliminate it. If you do want the truck, then assign it. So I think you don't really need that. I think you said, right, you didn't really want that. Is there, if we click on, like, let's just quickly click through truck 2, 3, and 4 and make sure that they all have routes.
Okay.
So there's no route. There's
2.
no, okay, so there we got it. Yep, good. Let's click on the others.
So just click on the others.
We're
Okay.
good. On the trucks there, we got truck 2. So let's click
So
on
that's
3
truck
and 4.
3, and that's its
Right.
route.
Right.
And then truck 4. Oops. Okay. 4. Either I need smaller fingers or I need a better computer.
Okay.
And this
Well,
is the Cindy route.
so it looks like it's all there, but there may have been some, I mean, sometimes if it doesn't run, we'll just load a new copy from the library. When in doubt, click browser refresh. So that looks like everything you should have.
And
You
that's
only
why,
have 3 trucks and they all have routes. We don't see a truck 1 there anymore.
right.
So you removed truck 1 in addition to removing its route, right? You must have. We don't
Right.
see it there anymore.
Right.
Or maybe that's where things, sometimes slip through the cracks. But let's just click the browser refresh on your browser.
In the edit screen or the simulation screen?
It'll work on either screen, but in the edit screen, just to redraw the whole supply chain. Yeah.
Okay.
And so now, let's why don't you click on, when you get that message, it says there's no route attached to a truck. What you really need to do is just close that browser. So if you X out of that browser tab, and then we'll hit the simulation button again to open up a new fresh.
Just
browser
totally
tab.
X out of the edit screen?
Oh, the browser tab, which is next to it, is your sim. So if you move your cursor, that one, now if you just close that screen by clicking the X on the browser tab, there you go. Now
Okay.
we'll open up a new browser tab with the sim screen by clicking on the simulation button.
Okay, got you.
Now let's see if we get an error message. It looks like we're good. So let's run it. Click play.
Play.
Looks like we're good. We're good.
Okay.
Just so that you know, Michael, you're coming up on about 5 minutes.
Right. So maybe we should, for everybody here, are you starting to, I mean, we don't want the software to be a hassle. We've had 10 years of feedback from students and instructors. We're trying to, smooth off the rough edges, make things direct, simple, clear. You're going to find that running this and getting the supply chain to work, you're going to focus your mind on that, which is where you want to be. Anyone have questions? Is there anything when you think about, because what you're going to continue on now,
Oh,
you-
another error.
I have one.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I have a question. Okay,
Yeah.
so say where I am right now,
Yep.
The edit and the other screen. Say if I wanted to leave, does it automatically save where I am?
Yes, it always, whenever you make a save or whenever you make a change, boom, it saves it.
Okay,
So this is one of the things, there's no undo.
Okay.
And when you're on your edit screen, like Catherine, if you just click over, yes, and see where it says options, it's right close to where your cursor is right now. There's a button that says options. It's underneath where it says Nolan Taylor Seasoning. Right underneath it, there's yes, click on that. And there's a way to see where it says at the bottom, it says create save state.
Yes.
That just means a backup copy. If you click on that, you'll save a backup copy, presto, and you'll see it on your screen when you go. Now, if you click on the button that says my account screen, there it is. You've got a save state.
Oh, this one right here.
Yep. So, and usually after you've been hammering on a model for about 90 days or so, which happens to be, like 2 weeks before the end of the semester and you need to hand in your project. If you haven't been making backups, sometimes, not always, not often, but sometimes a trail of woe will occur if there you are the night before and it's damaged. So you want to have restores just to restore from, but otherwise, what you're seeing is there's all sorts of things you can do. There's no one right answer. What we've been doing, these are definitely suboptimal answers, but they get you to the first objective, which is 30 days. Frank, is there something we should
Well,
do?
the only thing that I would add is when you do that save, it's going to overwrite the previous one, I think, does it not?
No,
You have to give
they'll
it a different
be
name.
timestamped. They'll be timestamped, so you'll see, and they'll keep
Oh, okay.
backing up. So you'll be able to, like you can say, that was my Jan 19 one, and then so it's actually a great idea every week at least. And if you're going to make a big change to something and it doesn't work out before you make the big change, make a backup, and then go ahead.
I say,
All right.
so when we open it back up, it's just gonna pick up where we left off at. We don't have to go.
Click on edit right now in your active above there where it says, Nolan Taylor.
Right here?
Yep. There you are. It's going to have all the changes. Let's quickly take a look. Like you can see, did we get rid of that other truck? Click on facilities and
Vehicles.
DC and vehicles. Yeah. First, you have to click on your facility.
Oh,
The
sorry. Then we do the,
And then the
Seasonings
DC is where we
DC.
have the truck. Yep.
and then
Now we can
vehicles.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Looks
Gotcha.
like we're all there.
So Catherine, real quick. So what you did was you hit options to get the backup copy?
Yes, I did the options and where it says create, save, state, the last one.
Okay, create save state. Okay, got it.
Yeah. I did that and it said done.
Okay, got
I don't know.
Those
This is gonna
save
be
states can
fun.
be downloaded.
Okay.
They can be downloaded as a JSON file. And you can post that if you need to. If you have a technical problem, you can submit that to the professor. And we'll take a look at it. And if we need to involve SCM Globe, we may refer to them. But the thing is, when you get the JSON file, it's not like some things that you get attached to an email where you double click on it and open it up. You have to save it to your computer and then to a location where you know it is, and then you have to upload it into SCM Globe and then open it from there.
And it's easy enough to do that if you click on the My Account button. And everything we're saying is in the 6
Oh,
steps to
right
getting
there.
started. Yeah, so it says up. If you click on upload, it'll open a directory and you can see where it is and click on it and upload.
Oh, this right here, upload save file?
Yeah,
Okay.
if you click on that, it'll, or if you can see it, if you already see it on your browser, you can just drag and drop it. But there you are. And so now you can search right now. Where do usually you'll find it in your downloads if you download it, but wherever you put your downloads, that's where it'll be.
Okay.
And you can download. See, there's a button there that says download a save state.
Mhm.
Right.
How do you get back to that screen though? That SCM Globe screen? How do you get back?
That's
to
your account management. If you click on My Account, it'll go to your account screen.
that? Click on My Account.
Right.
Okay, got it. Okay.
So are we supposed to go into this every day? I'm confused.
Or you should do. I don't know. Your professors know what the expectations are.
Well,
Okay, so, okay, we use that,
you have an assignment for week 2, that is to get the system running for 30 days.
okay,
So when you reach 30 days, you're done. And the other thing that you also need to do is to, and this is in the online user manual, you should download a CDS file, which is your data, and then import it into a spreadsheet template. So again, there's little videos, and all the information's in your online help guide.
If
It
you
really will get you there.
click on that blue button there that says help, and we'll just quickly look at that, and maybe that's a wrap. And as you look over on the right side, it says table of contents.
sorry.
And see that if we scroll down a little bit underneath the table of contents, we're going to see getting started. And you also see getting started across the top there, in that black band across the top, you see getting started. So either way, click on the getting started in either position. Here we are, and we've already seen this, but we only basically looked at, when Corey activated his account. There are 5 other steps. Let's keep scrolling down to the 6 steps. There they are. And now step number 2, we try to just concentrate the heck out of it. You can't put 10 pounds of anything into a 5-pound bag, but step 2 is 3 videos and some really, click on step 2 and scroll down a little bit. And everyone here can read this at their leisure, but it's here. And and again, 10 years, here's a little map. You only got 3 screens you're maneuvering around in. 10 years of feedback and answering people's questions and making it clear and not rambling on. That's what you're seeing here. So we really want this. And if you have ideas for making things clear, we want to know. This is to our advantage to people be able to learn to use this as quickly as possible. So it's all here. If you scroll down, you're gonna find, if you keep scrolling down, you're gonna find 3 videos. You'll see some notes underneath. Here's the notion about you move between browsers. There's the videos. And then each video will, kind of walk you through stuff, or, for people like, if you don't want, I'm not a great video watcher because I have to sit still for that long. I can speed read. So right where it says see more information, and this one, it says simulation tutorial. We've got underline, links there. You can see all. So there's links everywhere as to be helpful. And then you can always get everything through the table of contents. So it is here between 15 and 30 minutes. You'll know enough to start and then learn the rest. Now, that where it says there, you need the answer to those 7 FAQs. Let's click on that because you do. These are the 7 most, and there's not 110 of them. There's only 7. And here they are over the last 10 years. So odds are everyone is going to want to know the answers to those. If something happens, you just don't understand it, make sure you check here first before you start to go, WTF. Okay, whenever you feel confused, then click the blue help button before confusion turns into anger. Click that blue help button and you're going to 95.798% you're going to find your answer here. Maybe it's even actually 96.798. You're going to find your answer here. And you'll learn it as you know, as you need to go. That's the whole idea of this. The 6 steps is, you know, kind of concentrated essence. And then there's more here, but you'll learn it when you need it. There's no point in trying to learn everything up front. So what do you think?
I think you've covered it all. I certainly want to thank Corey and Catherine for walking us through their screens, because I think that's something we haven't done much of in the past, and I think it's a great enhancement. So,
Yes, it is.
you know, other than that, just wishing you luck as you embark upon Cincinnati Seasonings. There are no wrong answers. And it's mainly a learning tool. And if you feel frustrated or confused, that also happens. Just plow through it and make this help screen, the help button, your best friend during your course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This was very helpful. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you,
Very
Michael
good.
and Frank and the participating students.
Yeah, it's very helpful.
All right. All right. Well then, and I will, you know, I will send your professors a copy of this video that we're taking here. And I think I'm gonna click on the stop recording right